Kashmir the backpacker 우리는 backpackers Yeah we the backpacker 내가 묻은 신발이 바래져도 backpacker 우리는 backpackers 출발은 언제나 겁없이 시작부터 맨발 내 눈에 싹 다 basic 보다와의 step pipe 펴진 내 black tie project만 necktie.
What is band valuation? So band valuation is the process of determining the fair price. This is a fair price of a band. This is done by considering the band's expected future cash flows, its coupon payments, and face value, discounted at the appropriate rate. In simpler terms, mas dali ma-figure out kung pila ang value sa band karon based sa kung unsa ilang expected nga bayran in the future, adjusted for the rest involved. There are two main band approaches. First, the present value model or price base. Second, yield model or yield base. So, the present value model is a core concept in finance that calculates the current worth of a future sum of money or a series of future cash flows given a specified rate of return. Based on the idea that money received today is worth more than the same amount received in the future. Because of its potential earning capacity, the present value model is a very powerful tool for making financial decisions that involve money received or paid at different points in time. It helps to ensure that comparisons are made on an equal footing considering the time value of money. So, the present value formula that assumes semi-annual compounding, as you can see the formula, so where PM, the current market price of the band, and the number of years to maturity, CI, the annual coupon payment for band, I, the prevailing yield to maturity for this band issue, and PP, the par value of the band. The value computed indicates what an investor would be willing to pay for this band to realize a rate of return that takes into account expectation regarding the RFR, the expected rate of inflation, and the rest of the band. The standard valuation technique assumes holding the band to its maturity. In this case, the number of periods will be the numbers of years to the maturity of the band, and the cash flows include all the periodic interest payments and the payment of band's par value at maturity. So, for example, let's assume a band with the following characteristic. Par value is 1,000, annual coupon rate 8%. This means that annual coupon payment of 1,000 times 0.08 is equals to 80, and yield to maturity 10%, years to maturity 5 years. So let us calculate the semi-annual coupon payment and the interest rate. The coupon payment is made semi-annually, so we divide the annual coupon payment by 2. Semi-annual coupon payment is equals to 80, which is katong 1,000 times sa 8%, so 80 divided by 2 is equals to 40. So the yield to maturity is also expressed as semi-annual rate. Semi-annual interest rate is equals to 10%. Katong yield to maturity divide 2 is equals to 5% or 0.05. And then let's calculate the present value of the coupon payments. Yield model. Instead of determining the value of a band in a dollar term, investor of Fed price band in terms of yields. yields the promised return of bonds under certain assumptions. There are 5 yield measures. First, the nominal yield. Second, current yield. Third, promised yield to maturity. Fourth, promised yield to call. And lastly, realized or horizon yield. So, nominal yield is the coupon rate of a particular issue. A bond with an 8% coupon has an 8% nominal yield. This provides a convenient way of describing the coupon characteristic of issue. Current yield. Current yield is to bonds what dividend yield is to stocks. Where the CY is the current yield, C annual coupon payment, P current market price of the bond. For example, suppose bond A has an annual coupon payment of 100 and its current market price is 1,200. So, to get the current yield, we need to CY is equals to 100 divided 1,200. So, the total is 0.0833. So, i-times din nato sa 100 is equals to 8.33%. Promise yield to maturity. Promise yield to maturity is the total return an investor can expect if they hold a bond until its maturity date. Assuming all coupon payments are made as promised and the bond is redeemed as its face value. It's the most widely used bond yield figure because it represents the fully compounded rate of return over the bond's life. For example, let's assume the following bond characteristic. Par value 1,000, coupon rate 5% per year, paid semi-annually. Yield to maturity 6% per year or 3% per semi-annual period. Maturity 5 years or 10 semi-annual periods. So first, kinahanglan nato i-calculate ang semi-annual coupon payment. So ang annual coupon payment is a 5% of 1,000 which is 50. Since payments are semi-annual, the semi-annual coupon payment is 50 divided by 2 is equals to 25. Para makuha ang present value of the coupon payments, kinahanglan nato i-calculate ang summation. So, 25 divide katong 1 plus 0.3 to the power of 10. So, imo siyang i-calculate kaning to the power of 10, 1 to 10 siya. So, para so the total is para imo din pag-calculate nimo dito sa katong pag-total nimo sa katong 1 to 10 nga to the exponent is imo din i-add tanan ang katong summation na total, and then the total is 213.20. And then let's calculate the present value of the coupon payments o present value of the par value. So present so 213.20 plus 744.09 is equals to 957.92. So promise yield to call. Although investor use promise YTM to value most bonds, they must estimate the return on, as you can see the formula in the screen. So where PM the current market price of the bond, CI the annual coupon payment for bond, NC the number of years to first call date, PC the call price of the bond. For example, let us assume that the call price is 1,050, coupon rate 4% per year, which paid semi-annually. Yield to call 5% per year or 2.5% per semi-annual period. Call date 3 years or 6 semi-annual period. First, kinahanglan nato i-calculate ang semi-annual coupon payment. Ang annual coupon payment is 4% of 1,000, so which is 40. The semi-annual coupon payment is 40. I-divide din mo sa 2 is equals to 20. So, kinahanglan nato i-calculate ang summation. Kining summation represent the present value sa coupon payment. So, katong 20 divide nimo sa katong 1 plus 0.25 to the power of 10. So, kay summation man, so kinahanglan na nimo siya ang exponent niya is kailangan nimo siya tagsa ang 1 to 10 muna siya din. So imo din sila i-add ang total na tanan sa summation mo din na sa ang total na din tanan is 110.20. And then i-add pod na to ang present value of the call price is which is katong 1,050 divide sa katong 1 plus 0.25. So say to the power of 6, so the total is 905.50. So i-add lang nato ang present value sa coupon payments o present value of the call price. So 110.20 plus 905.50 is equals to 1,015.7. The yield adjustment for tax-exempt bond is a crucial concept for investor considering these securities. As you can see in the screen, the formula is ETY is equals to I divided by 1 minus T, where I is the promised yield on the tax-exempt bond and T is the amount and type of tax exemption. For example, if the promised yield on the tax-exempt bond is 6% and the investor marginal tax rate is 30%, the equivalent taxable yield would be TY is equals to 0.06 divide 1 minus 0.30 is equals to 0.0857 or 8.57%.
Bond yield books, also called bond books or yield books, are tables that make it easy to figure out the value of a bond. So instead of the complicated calculations, you can just look up the bond's price in the table based on its coupon rate, interest paid, and time until maturity. Interest rate or yield means the same thing. They are different words for the same idea. Bond price and interest rate have an inverse relationship. When interest rate go down, bond price go up. When interest rate go up, bond price go down. Interest rate and how they change in crucial for successful bond interest. Like any price, interest rate are set by supply and demand. Investors provide the supply loans based on their desired return, while borrowers create the demand need for loans to cover budget shortfalls, government or fund project businesses, while some basic factors influence supply and demand. Short-term change are unpredictable and forecasting them accurately in a very complex job done by expert economists.
Fundamental determinants of interest rates as you would expect. Bond prices increase dramatically during periods when market interest rates drops. and some bond investor experience very attractive returns. In contrast, some investor experience substantial losses during periods when interest rates increase. Essentially, the factors causing interest rates to rise or fall are described by the following. So the formula is I is equals to RFR plus I plus RP, where RFR, the real risk-free rate of interest, I, the expected rate of inflation, RP is the risk premium. So, for example, let's assume the yield on a 10 years US Treasury bond is 2%. Economists predict inflation of 3% over the next 10 years. The corporate bond has a credit rating suggesting a 4% risk premium and additional 1% liquidity risk premium. So, I is equals to 2% plus 3% plus 4% is equals to 9%. So, itotal ra, imo ra nang i-add tanan ang mga percent. So, mao na dayon ang total.
A yield curve in a snapshot in time that show the relationship between the length of time until a bond measure, term to maturity, and its yield return. It showed the yield for group of bonds at a specific moment.
Types of yield curve.
The yield curve show the longer term bond have higher yield than shorter term bonds. The graph slope upward. A declining yield curve show that longer term bonds have lower yield than shorter term bonds. The graph slope downward. A flat yield curve means short-term and long-term bond have about the same yield. The graph is a flat line. A hump yield curve show that medium-term bonds have the highest yield, while short-term and long-term bonds have lower yield. The graph is a curve that's peak in the middle. The peak in middle. The expectation hypothesis say the shape of a yield curve in the based on what the market expect short-term interest rate to be in the future. It suggests the long-term interest rate are essentially an average or current and predicted future short-term rates like a one-year rate. The liquidity presence term premium hypothesis state that long-term bond must offer a higher yield, a premium to the compensate investor for the extra risk and lower liquidity compared to short-term bond.
Bond price volatility is measured as a percentage change in the price of the bond. So the formula is EPB divide BPB minus 1, where EPB the ending price of the bond, BPB the beginning price of the bond. For example, let's say you bought a bond at the beginning of the year for 1,000. And at the end of the year, the bond's price increased to 1,050. So, 1,050 divide lang nimo sa beginning, which is kanang 1,000 is equals to 50, minusan dayon sa 1 is equals to 49. So, the bond price volatility is 49.